Yes. اوكي نقول جود مورنينج للناس اللي هلا دخلوا. صباح الخير يا حبايبي. Today we will start a new title. It's called specific latent heat. It's you can find it on pages 122 to 123. Today is Tuesday, 14th of April. Okay. Now assume that I went to Ram's house and I asked him, Ramiz, can you go and make for me a cup of tea? طبعا أستاذ حاضر. Okay. He got a certain cup of tea, certain cup of water, and he put it under the stove. How long does it take for water to boil? Almost يعني 1 minute, 2 minutes, right? Okay. Assume that we were talking أنا ورامز all the time and we forget about the teacup. So that after, let's say, 15 minutes قلت لك يا رامز where is the tea? إيه أستاذ I'm sorry أنا نسيت معلش تحملني يلا هلا بروح أجيب. If we go there to find what happened with the water, we will see that there is only this much of water in the cup. Why? Because some of the water has been changed to gas, have been بيسموها vaporized. Okay? So if we have a video camera that was watching what was the temperature of the water at the moment when Ramiz started the stove. Maybe at the beginning it was 20 degrees Celsius. After, let's say, 1 minute it becomes 50. After a little bit becomes 80. After a little bit becomes 100. After a little bit it becomes 100, 100, 100. So what is happening there? We are still using the heat. So water is still being heated. But water is being heated, but the temperature here stops rising. And if I ask you why, the answer بتقولوا because water is boiling. Boiling means liquid water is changing to gas water. So it was water and now it becomes steam. So what I want you to understand is that in any case, if there is a change in state, this is, we call it change in state. In any case, when there is a change in state, we always notice that the temperature keeps constant. Similarly, if Suzanne, she got a block of ice, she got it from the fridge, and we measure its temperature from the inside, maybe it's -5 degrees Celsius, and she decides to heat it. طبعا don't heat it from the outside, heat it from the inside. Again, dig يعني هنا for another hole for the heater, and see what's happening to the temperature. The temperature, it was -5, then it will become -4, then -3, until now all the ice is still in solid state and there is no water molecules there yet. -2, -1, when it reaches 0 degrees Celsius, then Suzanne will notice that there is some water here at the bottom. Why? Because the ice starts changing state from solid to liquid. So if she's still using the heater, she will notice that the temperature is still 0 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Celsius, until all the ice melts. If all the ice melts and Suzanne is still using the heater, it is still there inside the water, then the temperature will start rising up 10 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, but not forever. It will keep increasing till it becomes 100. And at 100, what will happen? It stays 100 because there is a change in state. So what we want to learn today, the first fact, that when there is a change in state, the temperature keeps constant. This is first. Then, if I'm asking, let's say Suzanne, how much energy did you use to melt the ice? Or if I ask Ramiz, how much energy did you use to boil the water? The answer will be as follows. He will say, Ustaz, if I know what is the specific latent heat, then I can tell you. طب ايش هي the specific latent heat? نقول it is the energy needed to change the state, whether from solid to liquid or from liquid to gas, or even the opposite. It's the heat energy needed to change the state of 1 kilogram. لازم يكون 1? Yes, لأنه specific. At constant temperature. At constant temperature. Okay? So this is the definition of the specific latent heat. Let's write the definition. Now, this was only explanation. You don't need to write anything. Now we will write the explanation, the meaning, I mean. And we'll see the equation for this. You know, if I ask you what is meant by specific latent heat, you know, it is the energy. Which type of energy? Heat energy. Heat energy. Not kinetic energy, not potential energy, heat. It's the heat energy needed to ايش اكتب؟ to what؟ شو عبد الكريم شو اكتب؟ needed to what؟
needed to boil a cup of tea or water.
بس مش بالضرورة. إذا نقول in general نقول to change the state. هذا in general. لا شرط كيلوغرام بس مش شرط يكون boiling، ممكن يكون melting. فعشان هيك بنقول عشان in general بنقول it is the heat energy needed to change the state of لازم يكون 1 kilogram of a substance طيب خلينا نسأل آية داود.
Oh my God,
صباح الخير. هلا if I ask you the meaning it's the heat energy needed to change the state of 1 kilogram of a substance. What happens to the temperature? What do we say about the temperature?
It increases.
No بالعكس. هلا كنت أورجيكي إنه it has to stays constant. فإذا إذا كتبته like this it's not enough يا آية. You have to continue. You have to continue talking about the temperature. بنقول it is the heat energy needed to change the state of 1 kilogram of a substance under constant temperature. So this is the full meaning of specific.
أستاذ بس impure substances ما بيكونوش constant temperature.
لا مش هيك. مش ما بيكون constant temperature. بيكون constant temperature بس بيكونش يعني ما بيكون له fixed specific latent heat لأنه depends على impurities الموجودين.
Okay.
يعني specific latent heat may change. بس هلا إذا if we're talking about pure substance بيكون constant. عشان هيك there are some tables في عندنا tables في الانترنت أو in our box we may find فرضاً The specific latent heat for the ice, it's 340,000 joules for every kilogram. Don't write this table, okay? طيب for water أستاذ is it the same؟ لا، ما هو ice means changing solid to liquid. Water means changing liquid to gas. For water it's 2250 almost طبعا joules per kilogram and so on. So there are some tables for these specific latent heats. You don't need to memorize them. You don't need. Just only if I tell you what is the specific latent heat, then you can tell me how much energy is needed for them. طيب. Yes.
specific latent heat. انت ما في مثلا initial temperature و final temperature.
لا، لازم has to stay constant.
changing state صح؟
Has to stay constant. Need to stay constant.
أول ما يبلش يعمل change state تشوف كم energy.
بيكون هي latent. Before this it was not latent. In the case of رامز لما كنا نسأل رامز كانت the temperature 20 degrees Celsius, then 30, then 50. Is this latent heat? It's not latent because the temperature is still increasing. Then it becomes 100, then 100, then 100. But what is happening here? You know, here I am still heating, but the temperature is constant. Then this means there is a change in the state. Here there is no change in state. Here there is change in state. طبعا عبد الكريم أنت قلت water. It's not necessary to be water. يعني could be any liquid. For example, when you are heating oil, it may boil. But the boiling of oil is not at 100 degrees Celsius. So let's say the boiling point of oil is 250. So if you are heating oil, maybe the temperature will be 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 250, 200. Ah, Ustaz, here, when the temperature stays constant, yes, this is the boiling point. So this energy, we call it latent heat. Okay?
Okay.
طيب.
So نحسب السبيسيفيك هيت كاباسيتي فيه ما حيزبط راح يكون undefined ولا لا؟
طبعا لانه انت عندك راح يطلع زيرو لانه ما في سبيسيفيك هيت كاباسيتي. استنى علي هلا
راح يطلع زيرو بس اذا نحكي change in temperature راح تكون زيرو مع denominator.
لا مش denominator.
تكون undefined.
ما هو ما بصير wrong equation ما بصير تستخدمها لما يكون في عندنا change in state ما بصير.
هيك خلاص ما بيزبط تستعمل معادلة انك تكتبها.
وهيب معلش تستنى لسه ما خلصنا الدرس. اوكي. specific latent heat بدي اكتب SLH اختصر. نقول there are two tables for the specific latent heat. في عندنا اشي اسمه specific latent heat of fusion FUSION, or we have specific latent heat of vaporization. Not evaporation. There is a big difference between evaporation and vaporization. We will talk about them later on, not now. But هلا so far melting fusion means melting. يعني بصير اكتب لحظة شوي. Can I write specific latent heat of melting؟ نفس المعنى. بس هم they will not use this word. They will use specific latent heat of fusion. So when do I use the specific latent heat of a fusion? I will use it when I am sure that solid is changing into liquid, and the specific latent heat of vaporization means specific latent heat of boiling. But some they don't use this word, okay? Boiling and evaporation is different. We will talk about the difference later on. But هلا, when do I use the specific latent heat of vaporization? بنقول when liquid is changing into gas. Do you have a question? مين كان بده يسأل؟
الصوت تقطع كثير.
ممكن نعمل فويس فيرسا.
الصوت يا حبيبي يعني بجوز تكون انترنت بروبلم، مش عارف من عندك او من عندي.
عم تعمل ريكورد
يس
مثلا تليفونك.
يس
عملنا ريكورد مش مشكلة.
يس.
ممكن احنا نستعمل هاي فويس فيرسا، يعني من غاز للليكويد او الليكويد للسوليد.
صح. طيب هلا خليكم شوي معي. جعفر يا حبيبي بما انك معنا، خليني اسالك، ولا جعفر هلا دخل؟ جعفر كنت معنا من البدايه حبيبي ولا ما اسالك؟ جعفر اسال ولا ما كنتش موجود من الاول مش رح تعرف تجاوبنا؟
أستاذ كنت موجود بس أستاذ كان صوتك بيقطع.
أنا للأسف يعني مش يعني it's not in my hand. هلا أنا عم بسجل فإن شاء الله. طيب أنا
عشان هيك بحضر الحصة
بس ما هو مش هيك دائما، مرات بكون هيك مرات لا، بعرفش أنا عندي إنترنت سريع كتير بس بجوز. طيب عقل من اللي كانوا مركزين معي وقادرين يسمعوني، لو بسأل please I want somebody to answer me. If I'm asking you, state what is meant by specific latent heat of fusion. Yes.
أجاوب.
Yes.
The thermal energy required to change a solid into liquid, 1 kilogram of a solid into a liquid under constant temperature.
ممتاز. That's it. هذه هي. شكرا يا عبد. Isn't this is the answer? If I am asking you what is meant by specific latent heat, هيك in general, you just say energy needed to change the state of 1 kilogram. But if I am saying what is the specific latent heat of a fusion or specific latent heat of vaporization, then you have to mention it's the heat energy needed to change the state of 1 kilogram from solid to liquid or from liquid to gas. This is how it should go. طيب. هلا if I'm asking you what is the equation in general, يعني in case of Ramiz, when he went to make a cup of tea for me, he did not use 1 kilogram أستاذ. لا, maybe he used half kilogram. طيب. So if you want to know what is the heat energy needed to change the state in general, whether solid to liquid or liquid to gas, or gas to liquid or liquid to solid, يعني زي ما حكى وهيب, it's vice versa, it works in both cases. The heat energy needed equal, بدي اكتب delta M times L. What is meant by E? E is the heat energy needed to change the state. طبعا ممكن تكون released while changing the state. إذا بنعمل liquid to solid بيكونش energy needed, بيكون energy is released. بس هي نفس الإيكويشن. فالheat energy needed to change the state, which is measured in joules, should equal to the change in mass. هاي بيسموها converted mass. It should be in kilogram. What do I mean by converted mass? ركزوا معي. Converted mass doesn't mean يعني it means how much mass has been changed in state. شو قصدك أستاذ؟ نرجع لكيس تبعت رامز. مش قلنا رامز he put let's say he at the beginning he had half kilogram of water. He heated the water for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes there is only 0.2 kilogram of water. Why? Because there is 0.3 kilogram has been changed to gas, to steam. صح؟ مظبوط؟ If I'm asking you calculate the energy, بنقول M times L, بس which M is the mass? Is this or this or this? بنقول it is the converted mass. يعني it's only the 0.3. It's not this one and not this one. It's just only the 0.3 kilogram, because this mass, the one that has been changed. In case of Suzanne كان عندها let's say 2 kilogram of ice, و 2 kilogram of ice all of it has been melted, فخلص 2 kilogram الماس هي 2. If all the mass is used خلص, but if part of the mass has been changed and part did not yet, then you have to wait. And M is the specific latent heat, whether it's specific latent heat of fusion or specific latent heat of vaporization. It's the same equation, just only this number will be different. And what is the unit? شو راح تكون اليونت تبعت L? L equal energy over joule per kilogram. Joule per kilogram. ديروا بالكم لا تخربطوا بين اللاتنت هيت والهيت كاباسيتي. الهيت كاباسيتي جول بير ديجري سلسيوس. الهيت كاباسيتي هذه جول بير كيلوغرام، في فرق بيناتهم طبعا اصلا two differences. طيب اوكي. Now let me take one question. Okay, question. A 1000 watt heater is used to melt down 0.50 kilogram of ice at 0 degree Celsius. The specific latent heat of fusion is 340 joule per gram, and the specific latent heat of vaporization is 250 joule per gram. Calculate the time needed. Calculate the time needed for ice to melt. Calculate the time needed for ice to melt.
احاول يعني والله مش شايف
ليه شوي عابر أستاذ. A 1000 watt heater is used to melt down 0.5 kilograms of ash.
Of ice at 0 degrees Celsius. Of ice at 0 degrees Celsius.
ايش بعديها؟
أعطانا two information. أعطانا the specific latent heat of fusion is 340 joule per gram, and he give us
300.
340 وبرضه أعطانا ال specific latent heat of vaporization is 2250 joule per gram. He wants the time needed for ice to melt. هلا the equation that has the time is the energy equal power times time. احنا we know
Vaporization كم؟ 2250.
yes 2200
جرام.
joule per gram. اوكي طلع بنقول الانرجي equal m times L. It's the same as power times time. The power is 1000. The time is unknown, we need it. Equal. The mass is 0.5 and this is 340. Will 340 ولا 250? This or this? Do we need the latent heat of fusion or latent heat of vaporization? What do we need here?
Fusion.
The fusion. We need the fusion. طب why he gave us the vaporization? Maybe just only for هيك confusion or maybe another part of the question needs it later on. Okay? فهلا this number is not needed. So I will use 340. But there is one problem here.
So كيف تعرفها؟
لأنه قال لك melting. Melt. Ice to melt. Ice to melt. The word fusion means melting. The word vaporization means boiling. So here you need the energy of boiling or the energy of melting. أكيد melting. So we will use the 340. بس انتبهوا لي please. This is, pay attention. This is joule per gram and this is kilogram. ما بزبط. Either you change this حتى تصير joule per kilogram أو this in grams. I believe إنه changing this to grams is easier. شو بنعمل؟ بنقول times 1000. ليش؟ عشان تصير joule per gram و1 gram they cancel out isn't it? Do you understand why did I multiply by thousands? عشان الunit here kilogram I want to change it to grams. طبعا not necessarily I can keep it in kilogram بس you have to change this joule per gram. بس هي هاي يعني it's hard for students to do it فهيك أحسن.
جول بير جرام تعملها تايمز 1000 صح؟
لا تعملها تعملها times 1000 yes.
1 over 1000
بالضبط بالضبط. فبصير عشان هيك قلنا أحسن نحول هاي أقل. هلا بس simple calculation بيطلع time equal 170 seconds. So the time needed for melting this half kilogram is 170 degrees Celsius. Let me ask you a question. Why he mentioned at 0 degrees Celsius? We did not use it. That's why he mentioned it. Is it important?
So بيجوز important for the next step إذا طلب منا سؤال ثاني.
لا no. الحقيقة it's very important for this step. لأنه if it was not at 0 degrees Celsius بيكونش النمبر is correct. بيكونش 170. بيكون you need more time. Let's say ومع إنه ما عمره إجا هيك سؤال بس let's say I give you ice at let's say -1 degree Celsius. Okay. Then you need to heat the ice to 0. Then it will start melting. So the time will not be 170. It will be more than 170 and it will be complicated. They will not bring it. بس يعني I want
لازم تستخدم الفيوجن.
يعني لازم يكون بليز ما تحكوا تسألوش واحد بيسأل الثاني يسكت. لازم يكون melting point يعني it should be ready at the melting point. فif it was at -1 ولا -2 ولا -3 I can't use this equation E equal mn. I can't use it. ليه؟ لأن this equation is only used when the temperature is constant. فif it was -1 or -2 it will not stay at -1. It will keep increasing until it becomes 0, then it starts melting. فit will not be used in this way. يعني رح تكون more complicated question. We will not study this case. يعني we may study it later on. I may show you a question to this case. بس هلا so far كل أسئلتنا رح تكون ready to melt. Okay?
كم الجواب أستاذ؟
نعم حبيبي.
كم الجواب طلعت؟
170
أوكي.
170 seconds. نعم حبيبي.
لو كان مثلا قال لك انه نيجاتيف 1 نستعمل سبيسيفيك هيت كاباسيتي.
لو سمحت يا وهيب انا الي ساعه بقول ليتر اون، لا تخربطني هلا وتخربط كل الموجودين معك. ليتر اون لو سمحت. هلا just I'm telling you انه this was important. He need to mention it at 0 because if it was not at 0 then the calculation will not be right. Okay? If it was not at 0, how do we calculate it? Later on. We may study it, we may not. بس أنا راح أقول لكم, I will tell you what to do. بس there is no such a question in the syllabus. ما في هيك سؤال يكون at -5 ولا -4. ما في هيك. Okay, enough for today. See you on Sunday. أو لا Sunday على الأغلب لا. We will لأنه بيكون Easter. I think we will change classes. Please listen to me. I will post on our physics post, not in general of grade 9. In physics, I will post there, physics channel, I will post when our classes will be next week. I know next week is Easter. I will not be available. Maybe Sunday and Monday, مش عارف, I'm not sure. I will talk to the administration, I will go back to you. But in all cases, you will find my classes on the calendar. And if you see the calendar has been changed, it's okay. Follow the calendar, okay? يعني طلعوا بكرة في مكتوب physics ولا إذا مش مكتوب physics معناته tomorrow we don't have physics. اتفقنا؟ نعم.
حصلها يتسجل
يس هلا راح احطها على يوتيوب وبتقدر تشوفها هناك. I will send the link.